Hey guys, welcome to Learn Web API in 7 days course. In this video we are going to talk about what is Web API attribute routing. Well, Web API provides two types of routing, convention based routing and attribute routing. We have already discussed convention based routing in our one of the previous videos, and now let's talk about what is attribute routing. So Web API version 2.1 actually defines a new type of routing, and that is called attribute routing. So attribute routing is actually implemented by defining root attribute on the API calls or API methods. When we write an API method in API controller, we have to define an attribute called root, and inside that attribute we can define the path of the URI. Now this type of routing gives more control over Web API URLs. And the examples of that can be versioning. We can do versioning in API methods. Suppose we have a API method which is getting data from X data source. Now we want to have one more method wherein we need to get data from X plus 1 data source. So in that case we can define a version of these API methods, say version v1 and v2, and then and that can be defined by using this a root attribute, and inside that we can define the API URI according to what kind of version we want. The other uses of attribute routing is categorization of resources. So suppose you want to get orders from one particular vendor, and then you want to get orders from that vendor based on two different parameters, like one can be date and another one can be price or cost of the product. So you can pass these two different parameters to get the orders from that particular vendor. So that is what attribute routing is all about. Now I'll show you in the Web API controller also. I have one of my Web API controller here. So you can see here these two methods here. They define a root attribute, and inside root attribute URI is defined. So you can see here both of them are get methods only. First one is version 1 and second one is version 2. So this is an example of doing versioning in Web API using attribute routing. So in next video we will talk in detail about attribute routing. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in next lecture.